Welcome to Unveiled, the Hampton Police Division podcast where we dive into the world of policing. I'm your host, Chief Jimmie Wideman, and today we're joined by John Davis from the Office of Youth and Young Adult Opportunities. Welcome aboard, Mr. Davis.
Thank you so much, Chief.
And just as a quick addition to that, you were a prior Hampton police officer, so I put that plug in for us.
Absolutely.
Just tell us a little bit about the program and your purpose.
So the Office of Youth and Young Adult Opportunities is focused on basically keeping kids away from guns, gangs, and drugs. That is our primary focus. We are part of the overall response for Hampton gun violence intervention. And also, we look to provide meaningful alternatives to guns, gangs, and drugs, as I mentioned. So we do that through various partnerships and various activities that we provide and programming.
Miss Letitia Handy is not here today, unfortunately, but if you'd be so kind, is it time to speak to her vision and how she leads the organization to accomplish the mission?
Oh, absolutely. So Letitia is the director for the Office of Youth and Young Adult Opportunities, has been in that position for several years, and her vision for our office is tremendous. It's vast. It's, being really an opportunity for resources to be provided, for our office to create meaningful partnerships and relationships throughout the community, so that we're in position to help individuals, that are looking to heal, rebuild, and thrive. As I mentioned, our primary focus is guns, gangs, and drugs. So we're looking at all times to keep kids safe, alive, and free. And we do that through, various partnerships and relationships and again, the programming that we provide.
I'm glad you touched on the partnerships because the Hampton Police Division is one of the partnerships, but could you elaborate a little more, expand that to include, say, the schools and so on and so forth?
Certainly. So the Office of Youth and Young Adult Opportunities is just part of, the overall Hopeful Hampton initiative, which is led by a steering committee, which is, I look at us as the Avengers. So, we all come together. Absolutely. We all come together and, look to provide as many resources as possible. The steering committee is comprised of our office, as you know, your office with the Hampton Police Division.
Yes, sir.
The Commonwealth Attorney's Office, the Community Services Board. In addition to Hampton City Schools, Probation and Parole has recently come aboard, and also Human Services. So all of these agencies come together and with a holistic view and a holistic look when we look to tackle concerns and problems throughout the community. And it gives us an opportunity to go ahead and make decisions instantaneously at the highest level so we don't have to cut out a lot of the red tape. The city manager's office is also intimately involved with it. Mary Bunting sits in the city manager's seat. So, we can act on things that we need to act on and be effective.
We move things along a lot faster. When you have the bosses in the room, we cut through all the red tape and, the frivolous communication. We action things when they need to be actioned.
Absolutely.
And so what we do as the police department is we've created a threat list or vulnerability list, and it's comprised of people that would be the perpetrators of violent crimes or the victims of violent crimes. And so with that information, of course, we reach out to you all and your group, and we just say, hey, there's someone that we've identified that's at risk. And then once we introduce them to your program, how do we proceed? What happens?
So that referral process has been invaluable. The vulnerability list has been, very successful as a predictor of those individuals that would be, as we've termed, most vulnerable to gun violence, those that will be, perpetrators or victims and associates in a lot of cases. So once a referral is made, once someone is placed on the vulnerability list, our team acts to make contact with that individual by many different ways. Either, we might attempt to do it in person, on the phone, meet them, at their place of business if we're aware of that, at school, and make contact with the individual and let them know that we're available, let them know that we're a resource and what we have to offer. There are various programs that we're able to offer, and some of them are incentivized, some of them are, referrals out to some of our grassroots partners and, our community partners throughout the region so that we're able to bring to bear as much, as many assets as possible to help in that situation. Our goal is to make sure that that individual is no longer in a position where they're going to be vulnerable, where they no longer feel as if they need to be, in a position to be a perpetrator, to make the overall community safer. So we're all about, helping that individual to turn their life around.
That's good, but so you're being humble because you didn't mention the wraparound services, the family support that you provide. And I know we've identified individuals, but a lot of times, as we very well know, no one really chooses to become, I guess, perpetrator of crime.
Right.
The way I look at it is typically it has something to do with, some sort of pain, whether it be coming from an underserved community, educational difficulties, abuses, bullying, narcotics, mental health issues, and you all connect them with those wraparound services to help them address the core issues that might lead them to perpetuating crime.
Absolutely.
So could you speak maybe a little more to those points?
Sure. So all the wraparound services, again, the services that we are able to offer, either intensive care through, our office, or, when we partner with other outside agencies, be it the Community Services Board or, some of our other partners in the area, to really look at that unaddressed trauma. To not only identify what's going on with that individual, but what is the family dynamic. A lot of times that when we encounter an individual, we also see that it's not just them. There's a family history, there's a social history that goes along with that. So if you're an individual that finds yourself in that situation, well, what happened before? What's going on with mom? Is dad in the picture? How many siblings do we have? A lot of times we have to help the entire family. So those wraparound services not only include that one individual, but also a lot of times we're addressing that entire family situation. Is it a housing situation? Is it, a lack of employment? Is it education? Do we have all the permits and licenses that we need? We're helping individuals get their driver's licenses now. So there are a number of things that assets we bring to bear on that situation. We're looking, again, holistically to, with our partners to address the situation.
And then I'll speak to the other point. A lot of people say in communities that there's not enough for the young people to do. And thereby, by virtue of that, they find trouble, idle hands kind of theory.
Absolutely.
And I know for a fact we also partner with some of the many activities that you will provide for the men and women in our community after school, on weekends, and things of that sort. So would you be able to speak to some of those programs that you're doing?
I would love to. I can speak to a few of them, just a couple to highlight. Something we have currently going on right now is the Hampton City Night Jam, the basketball. We've opened up the Mary Jackson Community Center from 6 o'clock to midnight. So that, young people can come in, young adults can come in, from middle school age all the way up to high school. And then we have an adult time as well. We have that going on during the entire summer. So far, we've had, over 150 participants in the 2 weeks that we've gone on. That we've been open, and we're looking for even more. This is just something that's growing and growing. There's free food, there's music, there's, it's really a great time, and obviously the basketball activity, there's a chance to win a few prizes. So, that's something one program that we have going on to, provide some opportunity, on that Friday night when, typically you would have that idle mind and that opportunity to go ahead and get in trouble. So
Sure.
Get off the street and go ahead and come on in, play a little basketball, or just come on and hang out, because it's a great opportunity. That's one of our programs. Something else we have going on simultaneously with that. All summer long, we have the Summer Youth Employment Program. Currently, we're employing over 150 young people in various roles and partners throughout the city. Again, providing an employment opportunity for them. So, you need a little money in your pocket over the summer. You don't have to go to your mom and dad for school clothes. You can go ahead and buy them yourself.
Right.
And start that self-sufficiency. In addition, we provide some training and some mentoring and some soft skills and things of that nature for those participants that are involved in the Summer Youth Employment Program. So, those are just some of the programs. We partner with with Hampton Parks and Rec to provide other services and provide other programs. So there's a number of efforts that we're involved in over the course of the city to try to keep that idleness at bay.
Absolutely. And the other wonderful thing that the program does, because people, they exist in their own little worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And so just in my observation is, people need to know their options, and this gives them the opportunity to explore some of the additional options. One of the references you gave was the intern program, where they can see, that you can go out, you can make legitimate money, you can stay out of trouble, you can find a peer group that is positive, that is less likely to have you, stray back into the streets or criminality. And they just when you present them with the options now, they can actually make choices.
Absolutely.
Opposed to all the negative influence that may surround them. We take them out of those environments, expose them to things that are better for them, for their families, and I think the outcome's good. And that's kind of the segue without diving into providing names. Do you have a success story you could speak to? Well, this is when you go, yes, I have so many.
Actually, we do have quite a few, and I hesitate only because, by nature, I hesitate to celebrate a little too early. You don't want to, before you cross the end zone. But we have several individuals that we've been involved with for, the greater part of this year that, we've had in our program that, we've been mentoring, and they're now involved in the Summer Youth Employment Program. So far so good. We've had them employed and for the most part, staying out of any major trouble.
Sure.
But it's something that, we have to closely monitor because it's not something that, you just don't change overnight. We had them involved actually in one of our other programs, which lasted 12 weeks. And now they're involved in the Summer Youth Program. And we're looking for the consistent incremental improvement. Mm-hmm. We love to get the, hey, everything's great, everything's changed and whatnot, but we know that's not realistic.
Right.
But we have the touch points, we have the constant check-ins, we have the, the opportunity to see you, once, twice, 3 times a week, so that, the more contact you have, the more exposure, it's something that's going to give us the opportunity to constantly make that incremental change that we know will lead to positive results
Muscle
in the
memory.
end. Absolutely.
Keep
Absolutely. Got to
touching
get those reps up.
There you go.
Yep.
The other valuable portion of the program as well, and I think it has a lot of value not only for the mentees but your mentors, mm-hmm. because it, for one, it gives them purpose. They can speak from a point of reference.
Absolutely.
And for the program and for us, it gives validity to the messaging. So the narrative comes from them, comes from some, in some instances, people that they are familiar with or at least familiar with their experience.
Right.
And if you want to see how that plugs into the program.
So we have a number of, and I think this is what you're alluding to, we have a number of individuals in our program that are credible messengers, our violence interrupters, we call them the MVPs. I won't share that acronym, but it's something that, is geared towards, we have individuals with lived experience, mm-hmm. That are able to pour into young people through, various touch points in our programs, either through that 12-week program that I mentioned or now through the basketball program. A lot of them are coaches in, the programs that we have. So it gives them an opportunity to impart their experience, their lived experience, which hasn't always been positive. And that's the whole point. They've gone through something that, is now, in retrospect, an invaluable experience. It's because we're looking to go ahead and make a change and turn around and be positive. If they've served time, if they've, committed crimes or whatnot, and now they're on the other side and attempting to go ahead and give back and pour back into the community, that's an opportunity for them to interact with young people and to, have that exposure as well. So, it's important for them to get those reps. We actually have, as part of our programming, assigned, in a one-on-one mentoring situation with several of those individuals. And in addition to, the group settings that we're able to put them in through either coaching or classroom or what have you. So, those individuals that are now, in the community and giving back, they are an invaluable resource. And, the kids gravitate towards them. There's a natural curiosity there, but it's also, it gives them a foresight into, what this life could be, and what options you have, what choices you have if you make informed decisions.
And this is the time, I guess, to ask the question, is there a means, a way for someone in the community that hears of the program but may not necessarily have a child that would have made it through identification by us through our vulnerability assessment? How would they reach out to you, and is that service available under other conditions?
Absolutely. So the vulnerability list is just one way that
right.
we receive referrals. We're in contact. I have community engagement specialists that are actually, go to the middle schools and high schools that speak with counselors, that speak with teachers, that speak with principals. I myself, as a former school resource officer, I'm still involved and engaged with the schools. And we have our ear to the community as well, ear to the ground as well. So there are a number of different ways that we receive referrals, and all of them get compiled through our Opportunity Connect form. If you go to our website, which is hampton.gov/youth opportunities, again, that's hampton.gov/youth opportunities, there's an Opportunity Connect form on that first page. The link is there on the first page, about 3/4 of the way down. And if you click on that and submit the information for the individual, it just asks a couple of different questions with regards to the situation, so that we can be familiar. But somebody in my office will reach out if if I'm not available, or if I am available, I'll reach out myself to make contact and to get some more information with regards to the situation and see what it is that we can do to help. There's very rare that we aren't able to either assist ourselves or to make a referral to some other partner that we have or some other agency in order to bring some type of resource. We're not the end all to be all. We can't cure everything, but if we don't have the solution for it, we can definitely point you in the right direction, or attempt to bring some assets to bear to assist with the situation. We're not going to turn anyone away.
And you've had audience with some pretty significant groups, starting with, say, City Council. You can elaborate as to the purpose of that, the messaging that accompanies that.
Certainly. So we are blessed to have full support of City Council, all the way up to including the mayor and vice mayor, who have been, intricately involved with every aspect of what goes on in our office. We can't do anything. The city manager's office is also, as I mentioned, is part of the steering committee. We are, fortunate to have the opportunity for us to have that support, and that has been extremely important to know that we have that backing. It also speaks to the commitment that the city of Hampton has to the youth and young adults of our community, and to overall the mission of making this a better community and safer community. I know that we pride ourselves on wanting to be one of the most livable cities in America, and the recent awards that we've received have pointed to that. And the way that we've interacted with our youth and young people had a lot to do with us being named an All-American City recently. So, that having that full support from the community, also from City Council all the way up, and various partners throughout the region as well that we've partnered with. That's something that is it's not only personally and professionally gratifying, but also we can't do without it. It's something that's very important.
Right. And like anything else, there are always going to be the naysayers. Those are going to be critical of the process and the priorities that go with that.
Yeah, haters going to hate.
There you go. So this is the opportunity to speak to that. For those that maybe don't have a clear understanding of the purpose or what your intent is, what the program's intent is, speak to that.
Certainly. So, and I say that in jest because here's the thing. I really think that once someone has a clear understanding as what it is that we're looking to do and what it is that we do and what we have done, that there really is very little objection. There's nothing that we can't overcome with information. So, our goal, our primary focus, as I mentioned in the beginning of this conversation, is to keep kids away from guns, gangs, and drugs. I mean, I don't know why you would have any objection to that. The means by which we do that has proven to be effective, and it's also a very iterative process as well. We're learning as we go and taking the best practices from every partner that we encounter. What's nationally recognized. If it's something that we can get from D.C. or Chicago or Los Angeles, wherever it is, we're going to take that best practice and put it into play. All of which to bring whatever is necessary to bear on the situation to make it better. So we're all in position to make this community better. We live. I personally, and every one of our staff, with very few exceptions, live here in the city of Hampton and love the city. And we have a heart for young people. So this is not only our mission, but our part of our life work.
And important to say that there's balance, because it's the carrot stick philosophy. Whereas we offer the services, we identify your needs, we give you access to those things that you require and need. But when that fails for those outliners, then the Commonwealth Attorney's Office and the Hampton Police Division is fully committed to holding them accountable.
Certainly.
Because at the end of the day, it's about saving lives. And in many instances, it's even the lives of the young people that we're coming in contact with.
Absolutely. And Chief, as you know, it's our thing is the three-legged stool, is the prevention, intervention, and then on our end, I call it enforcement support.
Yes.
I'm a former officer, I don't work directly with the police division, but we work very closely so that, we have the opportunity to go ahead and communicate and provide information, as available and as we can, in an effort to go ahead and make the situations better and to improve the lives of the individual, but also to protect the community. That's overall, what's of highest importance.
Sure. Anything I missed? Anything you want to add?
I hope I wasn't too nice.
No, not at all. I know I used to give you that. That's all right. I wish Ms. Handy was here also as well
Absolutely.
to speak to her baby or program and give us additional insight, at least from her perspective. But I thank you for showing up.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Sure, no problems. Thank you all for joining us in this episode of Unveiled, and thank you, John Davis, for sharing with our listeners what the Office of Youth and Young Adult Opportunities provides to our community. Be sure to join us next time as we continue to shed light in the Hampton Police Division and the extraordinary individuals who serve and protect. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Unveiled, a podcast that highlights the extraordinary men and women of the Hampton Police Division. To learn more about the Hampton Police Division, check us out on social media and on our website at www.hampton.gov/police.